Hey there, I'm John.
And I'm Josh.
And we are talking, well, we're close to the end. 2020 college football season, the craziest year in the history of sports, definitely in the history of college football. We're at bowl games. So we're going to talk briefly about the bowl games and then talk about the college football playoff. So we ready for this?
Let's do it.
Okay, back on Monday of the week before, we had the Myrtle Beach Bowl. That was App State playing North Texas.
Blowout game. App State had it from the beginning. Expected.
It was expected.
56-28.
And then the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. We had Tulane and Nevada.
This was another expected win. Nevada gets the dub, 38-27.
Not as big a win as we thought. But
I believe Tulane scored right at the end, so 11 points still enough to win the game.
Yeah. And then one that I was really interested in, Boca Raton Bowl, where you had UCF and BYU playing each other, and I was just curious more than anything what was going to happen with this.
BYU needed to do this to earn the respect back on their name.
Yeah.
And they definitely dominated, 49-23. BYU wins.
BYU looked really good. And so then we move on to December 23rd, and we had the New Orleans Bowl. Louisiana Tech played Georgia Southern, lost that game big. Georgia Southern won 38-3. Yeah, that's a stomp down.
Oh well.
Montgomery Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. You had Memphis facing Florida Atlantic, and Memphis took care of business, 25-10.
25-10. So far, I would say almost every one of these games ended up as expected.
Yes.
So
most of them are
something interesting to see. Like it doesn't seem like there's been too many upsets.
One that threw my picks off was the New Mexico Bowl because I didn't choose Hawaii. I chose Houston. But Hawaii, hey, good
Mountain
job.
West so far has done pretty well.
Mountain West
That's 2-0.
Shouldn't have picked against them.
For the games that we've talked about so far, 28-14.
That'll learn me. So then you had the Camellia Bowl, and that is Marshall versus Buffalo. Buffalo.
Yeah.
I was expecting Buffalo to win this big.
I was expecting Marshall to win.
Were you?
Yeah. 7-2. I
thought Buffalo with their running game. I thought they were just gonna.
Yeah, I thought the AAC is better than obviously they are because UCF lost, Houston lost, Marshall lost. Marshall's in the AAC, right? I could be wrong. No, they're not.
No, you're not.
Memphis won, so that was like one win for them so far. Yeah. But it just doesn't seem like the AAC is performing this year in bowl games. So for the rest of them, if they have any more, like Cincinnati, I want to go for them. I'm just saying. Anyways.
Okay. The Cure Bowl, that was Liberty, Coastal Carolina. Probably the best game so far. Possibly, yeah. It could
all the bowl games.
It could be the best game out of all the bowl games.
Phenomenal game. Yes. 37-34. Liberty upsets Coastal Carolina.
Oh my goodness.
My Chanticleers. No.
Crazy ending in that Liberty had a chance to punch it in. Funniest ending I've ever seen because the first time they tried to punch it in, Liberty played smart. We're going to take a knee and not get it in too soon because they wanted to use up some of that clock. And then the second time, he runs towards the goal line and then changes his mind and starts going back. The defense grabs him and starts pulling him into the end zone. Offense is grabbing him. His own players grabbing him, trying to keep him from getting in the end zone and fumbles.
Right.
So, oh, wow. Crazy.
The fact that the defense was trying to let him score to begin with, already hilarious.
It is hilarious.
And then it was just funny.
And his
great
own players
game to
trying
watch,
to keep
man.
him from going across the
And then
goal
Liberty
line.
stuns him in overtime. Good for Liberty. Yeah. Phenomenal season for both teams. Don't want to take anything away.
Yes.
I like seeing that two teams that were supposed to be good competed at a level that showed that they are good.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah,
good
it
job.
was good. First responder. So Louisiana Lafayette gets another chance playing UTSA, and they
won. Yeah, 31-24. At least one Sun Belt team won. As far as the top-notch ones go,
beating a San Antonio, Texas team there. So good job. And then you had the Lending Tree Bowl. That was Western Kentucky, and they were facing Georgia State. Georgia State won that one pretty.
Another Sun Belt team getting a win. Yeah, 39-21. Good for them.
Okay, now we are up to the current games because this is December 29th. And so one of these games is actually going on right now. Oklahoma State is currently playing Miami.
I said this before the game started.
Okay.
That Oklahoma State was going to dominate this game. Currently it's 7-0 with 10 minutes left in the first quarter. So it just started.
Yeah.
ACC to me is always just underperforming. And Oklahoma State, I just felt like they were supposed to be so good this year. Hopefully they can end on a high note.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll be curious to see how this one plays out. But Alamo Bowl, that's later tonight, and that's Texas versus Colorado. A 4-1 Colorado. So not even tested yet. I mean, they're 5 games into the season, playing a bowl game.
I got to go with Texas for this one.
I've got to go with Texas as well. I just can't imagine Colorado being ready for this one.
And didn't Colorado just get beat by a team they should not have lost
yes,
to? Yeah, Pac-12 just collapsed on itself. The fact that Oregon's going to a New Year's Six Bowl is already humiliating enough as it is. We can move forward.
Okay, so December 30th, we have the Duke's Mayo Bowl. That's Wake Forest versus Wisconsin.
Got to give Wisconsin the nod here.
I know they
were disappointed with the way they played, but I mean Wake Forest.
Yeah, they're also disappointed with the way they played.
Well, so they played how we expected.
Yes,
what do you mean?
True. Well, they're disappointed. That's what I said. Okay, then you got the Music City Bowl. That's Iowa versus Missouri.
Interesting matchup to me. I think I'm going to give the nod to Iowa. I think defensively, Iowa probably has a better chance of stopping Missouri. So Iowa wins this one in my mind.
I am interested to see. I think Missouri has a chance in this one.
They probably do.
We'll see.
They're not a bad team.
Yeah. Okay, Cotton Bowl. Now the thing that makes this game interesting, so you got Oklahoma versus Florida.
Right.
To me, what makes it interesting now is you have a number of the key receivers for Florida who are bowing out, saying, hey, we're going to go NFL draft. There's no reason to play this game. I guess the big question is Kyle Trask going to bow out?
Kyle Trask and their tight end
Pitts.
Yeah. If they play, I think Florida still has a chance in this game. Trask has done phenomenal.
And Pitts is already not going to play. So
I think this is a tale of two different stories. I think one is of Oklahoma, who started off the season struggling and has found their foot and started winning games pretty much the remainder of the season. They've done extremely well. And then Florida, who had high expectations, lost to the world's worst LSU, and then lost to Alabama in a competitive match.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to lean towards Oklahoma. This is 2 SEC teams that I'm choosing against, which is always risky, but I do think Oklahoma
I was actually leaning towards Florida until I heard that news, and now I think even the odds completely swapped.
Right.
With that. Okay, then New Year's Eve we have the Armed Forces Bowl, Tulsa versus Mississippi State.
You got to go Mississippi State here, right?
I mean,
surely
so.
just the size and speed of a SEC team should be able to beat Tulsa.
You would think so.
That being said, Tulsa's had a good year, so keep an eye out for them.
Crowd's really good too, though. So, Arizona Bowl, Ball State versus San Jose State.
Man, I sure hope San Jose State wins this game.
This seems like a no-brainer.
For my sake. That being said, Ball State did just beat a good Buffalo team. They only have one loss this season. They're not a bad team. They won the MAC. Good for them. San Jose State undefeated.
It is good for them, but I think
this is a must-win for San Jose State, especially if they want to keep momentum going into this next
season. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, then the Liberty Bowl, we have West Virginia versus Tennessee.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pick against the SEC again. I just don't see Tennessee winning against West Virginia. I think as far as offensive powers go,
pick against the SEC in this particular instance.
I think as far as offensive power goes, West Virginia's got the nod.
Yeah,
so
I'm thinking that as well. Then Texas Bowl. So you have Arkansas is going to be playing TCU.
Man, I think I'm going TCU. Wow, this is something else.
You're picking all against SEC.
I really am.
Oh, wow.
I'm picking against SEC until probably these bigger bowls, and then you're going to start seeing me lean towards SEC. So I do think TCU beats Arkansas.
All right, now we're going to jump into the new year, January 1st. Peach Bowl, and that's Cincinnati versus Georgia.
Georgia's found their quarterback. That's the thing. So Georgia all year struggled. They've had a good defense, but quarterback wise, they weren't there.
Yeah.
Now that they have, I believe, is it Bennett? Is that his name? You can flop somewhere.
I'll flop it up there.
Now that they found their quarterback, who was supposed to play anyways, I don't know why he didn't start earlier on. Man, if Cincinnati beats Georgia, that's going to be so humiliating for Georgia.
Yeah. Hey, this is Cincinnati's opportunity to say, hey, we are for real. We can play the SEC big boys and win.
This would be huge for Group of Five.
Hard for me to see it happening, though. But,
me too.
Yeah. The Citrus Bowl, you have Auburn versus Northwestern.
I almost want to go with Northwestern, especially since Harsin's not coaching this game.
Yeah.
That means they just have an interim head coach.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So
that's
just
tough.
Someone who's already there, probably an offensive or defensive coordinator, just stepping up and being head coach for a game.
Yeah. Northwestern's played really good.
Northwestern's done well. They competed against Ohio State.
Yeah, they did.
Which who knows what that really means as of right now.
You're not going to pick against another SEC team, are you?
I'm going to go with Northwestern.
Okay.
But remember, I did just pick Georgia, so.
Yeah. All right. Hey, and New Year's Day, you got a playoff game. So you got Alabama facing Notre Dame.
Man, the playoff, like, it was such a cool idea when they first announced that they were moving to a playoff thing, 4 teams getting to make it.
Yeah.
Everyone was sick of the BCS and the way that it was always ending up. And then the playoffs have been absolutely no different.
Yes.
Like now all we just get to do
true.
is the same 4 teams every year come in and compete. The fact that Notre Dame is in this game after losing 34-3 is the most just humiliating, just absolutely dumbfounding.
It is.
How?
Yeah.
How?
And most people are looking at this one because the next one is the Clemson versus Ohio State, and most people are looking at both of these games and just going Alabama Clemson.
Right, absolutely. And in my mind, Alabama beats Notre Dame 21 plus points. And I would be shocked if Ian Book can do anything against Alabama's defense, and I would be blown away if they can stop Alabama's offense.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And then Clemson Ohio State, it feels like the same thing. Clemson should be a lot better team, definitely a lot more seasoned team.
This is what people are saying.
More than twice the number of games this season.
This is what people are saying. Ohio State better beat Clemson after the Big Ten changes all their rules.
Yeah.
And the NCAA as a whole bends over backwards for Ohio State to make it inside this game. Absolutely, again, just humiliating display of bias and favoritism towards Ohio State by the Big Ten and the playoff committee.
But we say better, but...
So they better. You better beat Clemson after everyone just goes above and beyond to make it so your absolutely sad of excuse of a team makes it to the New Year's Six.
But see, in the 2 whole games they've played this season...
Yeah, exactly. It's so dumb.
In those games, they haven't done anything very impressive to me.
The fact that either of these teams made it over some other opportunities, such as Indiana. I don't care if they have 2 losses. I would rather see a team like Indiana, who's played games in the Big Ten this year, than Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... it's so dumb.
But it is what it is.
Yep. So I think Clemson wins, Alabama wins, and then I think Alabama wins the national title this year. Yeah. So we'll see.
So then January 2nd, we have...
I always forget there's bowl games
there
after.
There are a few after that one. Yes. You have the Gator Bowl. North Carolina State's going to be playing Kentucky. I'd probably give the nod to Kentucky.
I think I'm going to give the nod to Kentucky.
Yeah.
I do think Kentucky, at least defensively, did so well this year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Kentucky as well.
Outback Bowl, Ole Miss versus Indiana.
I'm going Indiana.
I'm going Indiana as well. I cannot see. I mean, Indiana's just had a really good season.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see because Ole Miss relies heavily on their offense and scoring a lot of points. Indiana relies heavily on their defense, stopping teams from scoring. But I do think Indiana wins.
Okay. Then in Fiesta Bowl, we have the one you've already mentioned, Oregon versus Iowa State. What the heck is Oregon
Iowa State
doing in
better
this game?
spank Oregon is all I have to say. This better be a blowout.
I can't see Iowa State not spanking them.
Yeah. I'm going Iowa State.
I think it's going to be ugly. Orange Bowl, Texas A&M. Texas A&M, who's looked really good all season outside playing Alabama. And they're going to be going against North Carolina.
I'm going to go on, rage on just for a little bit longer. I know Coastal Carolina lost.
Yeah.
But it's so dumb to me that Coastal Carolina didn't play Iowa State. Instead, Oregon did because of these automatic qualifying things.
I really think Coastal Carolina would beat Oregon. I really think they would beat them hands down.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It just bothers me. Anyways, I think Texas A&M destroys North Carolina.
I do too.
Yeah, I think absolutely marks them.
And that will lead us up to January 11th, the national championship game. So that will remain to be seen. We all expect 2 teams to be in there,
and we all expect one team to win it all.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, just on one more note before we go off, Heisman's coming up. Interesting to see who's going to be winning that. The 4 finalists were Trask, Mac Jones, Devontae Smith, and Trevor Lawrence. My personal opinion would be it would be just the biggest shame in the world if Trevor Lawrence doesn't win the Heisman. I don't care that he didn't have as many stats because of less games and different things like that, and also being injured. I think it would just be the biggest shame for someone as absolutely incredible as Trevor Lawrence and the career that he's had at Clemson to not win the Heisman. As much as I love Mac Jones and Devontae Smith, I would just hate to see him not win it. Yeah.
All right, so join us. We'll do a recap, particularly of the playoff games and the national championship. Right. Join us when we do that.
Go Broncos.